Hi friends. Welcome to day 4 of our best of 2021 series. Today we are covering skincare. But if it's your first time here, hi, I'm Alicia. Thank you so much for clicking on my video, and if you are returning, well, thank you for visiting me again. Kinky Sweat stands for my kinky hair and sweat life. I'm a fitness professional who loves things all movement and beauty. If you want to check out what I do in between the makeups, you can head over to my Instagram. If you're thinking about taking an online class with me, well then please sign up for my newsletter down below. I do not have any earrings on. Hold on. Okay, what do we got here? I know it's Christmas. Okay, so I have Christmas nails on, Starrily, Mars, and the Kelly Marissa collab from last year. She has a new one currently. I had my eye on it. Maybe we'll still get it. This is in Terra, so we got the Christmas nails, but I still haven't worn these. They are the cobwebs from the Halloween collection, which, you know, some people celebrate Halloween all year, okay? I'm having one of those moments. Oh, that's pretty. I mean, at a quick glance, it could be a snowflake. You know what I'm saying? Isntree actually has great holiday earrings now in stock, I believe. I didn't pick them up yet because I bought so much stuff from them recently. I thought, slow your roll. I like the cobwebs on, aka kind of like snowflakes from before. Skincare, well, you know, full disclaimer, this is more of a skincare products I use throughout the year that I really love. Didn't keep track of them as much as I did makeup, so I'm not entirely sure which of these products. Well, I know ones that didn't show up in 2021. I think a lot of these released before that, but I use these products extensively throughout the year, and I just wanted to share my favorites, what I loved using during 2021. I have a couple of options per category, like I have 2 or 3 for cleanser, moisturizers, and all that, so bear with me. All time stamps will be down below, as well as the products. So if you want to take a look at Bodycare, I really don't care about the Eyecare, then you can make that skip. You see that chapter here on the time bar? There you go. Because of that, I'm barefaced. Barefaced blemishes are doing better. This guy, my third eye, completely scabbed off, so I'm really happy that has been healing. Got a couple of here that need to go away, but in the meantime, why don't we start with cleansing? Specifically, the pre-cleansing step, where you would rely on an oil or a balm of some sort to break down your makeup and your sunscreen before going in with a traditionally formulated cleanser. Now, although this particular product has fragrance, hear me out, also did not come out in 2021, but I used it finally during this year, and it is the All Clean Balm by Heimish. I not only finished the mini one I ordered, but the big mama here is nearly all done. I have some balm that I could scrape off the sides. Maybe this holds like one more pre-cleanse session. Although this has fragrance, and I had a hard time using this during April, May, I could withstand it, but it would have been not my first choice. It's so emollient. It just breaks down into a beautifully silky oil between your hands when you swoosh it together, and I love how it feels on my skin when breaking down my makeup and sunscreen. It just slides and glides effortlessly, and it is recommended that you spend at least a minute kind of swirling and twirling around those extra congested areas, just so that the oil can pull out the gunk from, you know, wherever is gunky. I'm not an esthetician, nor am I a skin care chemist, but I know traditionally you should spend some time with that step, and it does help when the texture itself is very easy to swirl and twirl over your skin, and when it rinses clean, and what's left behind is just soft skin. And some people just stop there. If they have extra dry skin and they cannot go near a water-based cleanser, this rinses clean enough that you don't feel compelled to go in with a second cleanser because it feels too oily on the skin. So that is why I completely finished that balm, and I'm considering buying it again but I probably won't because I have a lot more balms on standby. I still have to finish the Belief cleansing balm, which I'm halfway through. I have the I'm from Fig cleansing balm. There was another one. I am interested in the Youth to the People Superberry something something cleansing balm. I had mentioned that before when going over my Sephora wish list type of thing. I do still have the pharmacy Clearly Clean Something cleansing balm. That's on Bay's house because the other balm I don't have with me here, my apologies, but I did mention this in my Good Molecules video that was sponsored by Good Molecules. A huge shout out to them again for partnering with me. Their instant cleansing balm, they reformulated without fragrance, and man, that cleansing balm doesn't smell like anything. It's not like the pharmacy one that smells like vinegar, like freaking kombucha. The Good Molecules one just has a no scent, really smooth on the skin. I love how it breaks down. It pretty much reminds me of the Heimish except fragrance free. So those will be my picks. If you like fragrance, then I would go with the Heimish. If you can't stand it, if it's just too much for you, then go with the Good Molecules because it's at a reasonable price point and is highly effective in removing your makeup and skincare, and it rinses clean also. I don't feel like I have to go in with the second cleanser like I do at the pharmacy. Although I spoke about this, because it is winter time, I don't mind that feeling of, let's just say, moisture left behind when I rinse the pharmacy. I think it is helpful to have that layer because when it's super cold and windy outside, your skin can take a toll. And after your cleansing step, especially in the morning, which is when I use these cleansing balms solo without a water-based gel one, I appreciate the little plushness that's left behind. With that said, going into the water-based cleansing step. Now, I used quite a few cleansers for 2021, but my two standout ones, and I did two because you have one that suds and one that doesn't. The Good Molecules Rosewater Daily Cleansing Gel and the Dr. Sam's Flawless Cleanser. Now, the Good Molecules does sud, but it's a light gel that doesn't have an aggressive sudsing feel on the skin. It's actually quite light. It does sud quickly, but it feels good on the skin when, again, swirling and twirling all over to get the gunk out. It rinses clean also, and it doesn't have a heavy rose fragrance. I actually don't smell any rose at all, despite the fact that there is rose water in the formula. I adore that. I could get whatever benefits the rose water can present and not have my nostrils feel like they're on fire. The Dr. Sam's Flawless Cleanser, I think, is one of the more unique cleansers I use throughout the year. This one doesn't sud at all. It's a gel that when you hit it with water, it just emulsifies more into an oil feeling, but it's not an oil like a cleansing oil or a balm like the Heimish. And I like that because those who cannot do a cleanser with any type of sudsing, if they have psoriasis or eczema or any skin condition that makes their skin susceptible to dryness and discomfort when using a cleanser, then I think the Flawless Cleanser from Dr. Sam is a great choice. I used this after my first step and I felt like my skin was cleansed well, that any of that first step residue that might have been left behind is rinsed away, and I just think my skin was prime for essence, for toner, whatever the next step was at the time. So I might buy this again. I do have to order it from the UK. Not a huge deal, but because I have the Good Molecules, I might wait on this, or maybe I'll just buy a bunch of more stuff from her because I actually like her body lotion. I did try her Nightly Serum and Brightly Serum. I thought the Brightly Serum left my skin a little too dry. It worked during the summertime, but over the winter now, I'm using the Allies of Skin Vitamin C Serum, which I will further expand on when I get to December fave. So stand by for that. Don't know if I will order that again. You know, I'm tinkering with it, going back and forth, but most likely after I finish my current vitamin C serum, I would revisit the option. We shall see. But those have been my top performing cleansers. Now, one that I did finish, and it's much like the Dr. Sam's Flawless Cleanser. It doesn't sud. It's just like a gel to water feel. Is the Lagom Not Too Little, Not Too Much, the Cell Up Gel to Water Cleanser. I adored this over the summertime for my morning cleanse because I needed something lighter. I didn't want to use a balm like I do now during the winter season for my morning cleanse routine, but the fact that it felt like a gel and just was very refreshing in the morning. The problem is, and might not be a problem to some, it does have like that lavender type of fragrance. That would be my only critique. If Lagom can release a cleanser just like this, fragrance-free version that doesn't smell like fragrance-free vinegar, I would rebuy this cleanser without a doubt over the Dr. Sam's, because I'm sure it'll be easier to grab from Yes Style or Soko Glam or whatever online retailer that usually sells K Beauty or J Beauty, depending. Really have been loving my cleansing steps, so those are the faves for cleansing. I forgot to mention though, before I even go to the cleansing balms, okay, I encountered this eye makeup remover because if you saw my video yesterday when I presented the Clio Professional Kill Lash Mascara, the Super Proof Volume Curling, that thing was truly super proof. So super proof. It was tough to remove. I mean, my Bioderma did not stand a chance. And there was a time where I ran out of my Sephora eye makeup remover that I did not repurchase because they replaced the original one with some newfangled stuff that I just don't like. I was left to break down the mascara with whatever cleansing balm I was using at the time. And it took me a while. Like, it's tough to be gentle when removing mascara from your lashes. The Bifesta eye makeup remover saved me. I do feel that if you're gonna use either a Korean beauty or Japanese beauty mascara, you need a Korean or Japanese beauty eye makeup remover. They go hand in hand. This stuff melts the mascara off my lashes without any serious casualties, given that I'm gentle with the press and the swipe, okay? I press and wait, and the mascara just dissolves. It's spectacular. And my lashes feel conditioned. They feel moisturized. Number one thing, it does not sting, okay? I put on a lot of makeup remover on the cotton flats because I don't want to rely on any type of friction to get this mascara off. And sometimes if I apply too much of an eye makeup remover, I do feel stinging. And it's really discouraging. I'm like, this is supposed to be sensitive, okay? Not this stuff. It's amazing. I think this is my 4th bottle. I have one at Bay's house. I went through 2 already. Ride or die, holy grail for the year 2021 for eye makeup removal. And lip, right here. We go into the toner essence step. And I have to say, this was the year that I finally retired my beloved Neogen micro ferment essence, this one right here. I actually had a new bottle in my closet, but I gave it to my client to try because I think it was time for me to move on. It was time for me to try something else. I decided to try the I'm From Rice Toner. This was like, I think, a favorite amongst many because you can tell it has like this milky consistency that when you apply it definitely felt a lot more moisturizing, and it is, than your typical water-like essence. It might have been a little much for the summertime, but now for the winter is fantastic. I'm going between this and the Good Molecules, the newly released hyaluronic acid essence, which I'll talk about again, December faves. I would like to finish this so I can fully commit to the Good Molecules, but I thought this was a fantastic step to take if you didn't want to go in with a serum. Maybe you needed your essence to deliver both the hydration and a little bit of emolliency. I don't think about moisture because the ingredients in here, not necessarily occlusive in nature, but definitely will deliver hydration and a little more emolliency, especially if you don't like to use oils. This left behind behind a really nice plush texture to my skin, and it was welcoming for the next serum or for the next moisturizer or water gel. I enjoyed this toner and I will finish it because I think it is a great product. I don't know if I will rebuy it because again, I have the good molecules, but I have to present it as a favorite because I think it was one of the more unique formulas in terms of being a toner, although I did use it as an essence, meaning I poured it in my hands, tap, tap, tap. I thought that was a great application technique for me. So let me know if you use the rice toner as well, but I really loved it for the year 2021. Going into, well, let me do eye stuff first. I don't have a standout eye cream. Under eye cream is tricky because it's definitely that part of your face that mostly heavily relies on sleep and how favorable your genetics are. Some people unfortunately just have intense discoloration under their eyes and they have to rely on a prescription means to even that out, right? If you have sleep apnea or some type of disorder, no matter what eye cream you use, it's gonna look really bad under your eyes. You're gonna look tired. So no matter what eye cream you use, I think those factors just play a huge role in how your under eyes look, and if they're not aligning, then an eye cream could be like $1 million proven by all the data, but again, if you're not getting the zzzz, if your stress levels are still high, I do have 5 here that I used throughout the year and I quite enjoyed. The lightest one is the Good Molecules Yerba Mate Wake Up Gel. I really like this for the morning time. Something that's light enough to give me hydration and moisture, but not so heavy that my makeup will not sit well on top. Another one I used up is the Klairs Fundamental Nourishing Eye Butter. I thought this quite nice. Very air light, whipped in nature. It had like a pearlized finish that don't know translated as well when applied on the eyes. I don't know if you could detect that like pearlized finish, but I thought it quite simple, no fragrance, really light under the eyes. Again, great under makeup. The Pyeongchang Yul Black Tea Time Reverse Eye Cream. Again, no fragrance. I just enjoy the size of this because I think easy to travel with. It has a cream-like consistency, but it's very light. It kind of reminds me of the Klairs. Again, it absorbs quickly, feels nice under the eyes, wears well under makeup. The CosRx Advanced Snail Peptide Eye Cream. Now, I did not like the packaging for this. It's just so huge and a lot of product for eye cream. Maybe that's a good thing. Bigger bang for your buck. This takes on a similar consistency to the Pyeongchang Yul as well as the Klairs. I liked it, but it didn't absorb very quickly. So that would be my one critique. Whereas I felt that Pyeongchang absorbed a little quicker as well as the Klairs. It could be the same. It could just be all in my head. But again, I didn't notice any significant difference for my under eyes when using these. I just liked how they feel and again how my makeup wore over them. And the last one is the Youth to the People Dream Eye Cream. This I like for night. This is definitely a lot more heavy than the previous ones presented. It has more of a balm feel to it, and I do think you have to spend a little more time getting this under the eyes, but this will be prime if you have super dry under eyes. I would recommend that maybe you tap a little bit of essence here so that the actual locking in of hydration can happen when you apply this on top of your under eye skin. You know what I mean? If it's around, I'm gonna put it on. You know what I'm saying? Again, don't know if I'll repurchase because I do like eye creams to come in tubes. I think it's just more sanitary and easier to apply because I can just go dot, dot, dot. This, I gotta dig in a jar. Not a huge deal, but not my favorite. Moving on to actual moisturizers. Now, maybe this did release in 2021. I did purchase it this year. It's the Abib Hydration Gel Water Tube. This is a great alternative to a cream moisturizer if you have oily skin because it does contain dimethicone, which is a great occlusive, is very lightweight on the skin. It doesn't have any fragrance. It has an amazing silky texture. So if you are drier, you can apply this first and then follow with your other moisturizer. If you live in a humid climate, super hot, you could apply this solo and it will provide your moisture needs without it feeling heavy on the skin. And again, there's no fragrance. It's a very straightforward product. They list the ingredients here on the front, as well as the complete ingredient list here on the back. I've been using this under my moisturizer as like a serum step, if you will. Oh, and I just realized I forgot to show the serum. We'll get there in a minute. I don't know if I'll repurchase this. Maybe I will by the time spring summer arrives. I will want a lighter moisturizer, especially, you know, again, it gets very humid here in NYC, so I will probably revisit this, but I would like to use it because I don't know when I started using this. I have to label my skincare when I open it so I could keep track of the year timeline. Anyway, if you want an actual serum, I enjoy the Isntree Spot Saver Mugwort Ampoule. Now, Mugwort is said to be very healing in nature, nourishing, revitalizing, restoring. This I felt worked well when my skin was distressed, had red marks, you know, when I went picking when I wasn't supposed to. No fragrance. I had a cooling sensation, very refreshing and healing feel on the skin. I completely finished it. The reason I didn't repurchase it was one of those things where I feel the transformative benefits happen with my tretinoin, with my AHAs, and I don't really use BHAs anymore, but my AHAs I do use frequently. I do think that is when my skin changes and the blemishes become lighter. I can get a more even complexion. Stuff like restoring and healing, I think is harder to notice, but I do think it plays a vital role in the harmonious synchronization of skin restoration, right? You want your skin to not be sensitive. You want it to be calm because it's not going to be able to heal if it's wearing off eczema, psoriasis, or other, you know, other skin conditions. I do think having the mugwort in my routine helped my other skincare products work their best. It definitely amplified the other products. So again, my skin would not become inflamed. I might buy this again. I'm so happy that I finished it and nothing bad happened when I used it, right? So maybe I'll integrate mugwort into my routine again. Either that or the new snail essence serum that Neogen released, but they released it with cica, which I really love. So that has extra calming benefits in the formula. Let me know if you use the mugwort. I'm sure more mugwort products have released since then, so I'll take a look at my options. Moisturizers. Okay, now I talked about the Abib, went back to the serum. Now we're at the moisturizers. My trifecta right now, the Soonjung, okay, the Good Molecules, and the Klairs Midnight Blue Calming Cream. Those three I've been using the heck out of. Now, I had used the I'm From Rice moisturizer. I didn't finish it. I felt I liked the Soonjung a lot better. I just like that it's in a tube. Again, more sanitary. I don't like digging fingers in a jar. Okay. The 2x barrier cream is just moisturizing, emollient, softening. It leaves my skin feeling nourished and well taken care of. Very modest in formulation. It just has no frills here, but it does what it needs to do, okay? I love how it looks under my foundation. It's just very simple. There's no fragrance. Although creamy and moisturizing, it doesn't feel heavy on the skin, and I think this might be my second tube. I don't want to say my third because I use other moisturizers between the first and the second tube, but I rebought this because it's just a staple. I could rely on this. This is not going to cause any problems, okay? It's going to allow my tretinoin to do its thing, for my AHA to do their thing. Soonjung, I need in my life. The Good Molecules silicone-free priming moisturizer I like to use over the summertime, but I also like to use during the day when doing multi-looks for YouTube. This is what I will apply in between when I take my face halo to start over again. This is lighter than the Soonjung, but it's so great. It has such a creamy texture. It delivers those moisture benefits without feeling heavy on the skin. And again, I bought this during the Good Molecules Black Friday festival event. You could just rely on it to deliver amazing skin. It's fragrance free. It again looks phenomenal under makeup, and I just keep going back to using this because it's one of those moisturizers that just it does what it needs to do. Okay, I don't need the moisturizer to have a bajillion ingredients. I just need the moisturizer to moisturize. That's it. And it relies on shea butter. If you don't like silicone, it has the plant derived silicone alternatives if you're into that. But it's a solid product and it's not expensive. That's what's amazing. I guess this would be my favorite. The Klairs Midnight Blue Calming Cream. Talk about healing. This is just so soothing to the skin. And although a cream, someone has said this when I first introduced the product on one of my videos, although a cream, it has like a cooling sensation on the skin. There's no eucalyptus, there's no minty this or tingling that. It just feels again like you're restoring your skin. You're healing it when it's inflamed, when it's hot. This product is just vital to have, and I don't think I'll ever stop buying this because you can use this during the summertime. It says here after sun care, you know, when the skin got zapped. All right, it happens. You could use this because not only do you need like that cooling, but you need the moisture and the restoration for your skin to heal. This right here, this does come in a jar, but again, I don't like jars, so I got the bigger version. I actually finished one. This is the empty one. This is the one with product in it. I will buy it again. What am I talking about? I'm going to buy it again. It's essential. Now, this is not a moisturizer, but I love these suckers. The patches, oh my gosh. I went through a bunch of different brands for their patches. I do like the Neogen the most. They have more stick, especially when you apply this after you have applied your moisturizer. The thing with these patches is that it helps a blemish heal faster, but it also helps to heal the blemish without any disturbance, right? No water. It's waterproof. It says here, waterproof, moisture environment, easy to use, wound protection, strong adhesive. Okay, this guy right here, I murdered it. I touched it way too many times. Put this thing on overnight. It just sucked up any type of goo that it was going to produce for the next day, and it just made it heal a lot faster. Also, it just helps with the psychology of blemishes, of leaving it alone, because once the patch is on, that's it. Shops close, go home, don't come back here, okay? There's nothing to pick, just leave it alone. And if you did go in, if you did squeeze, you do have an open wound on your face, and it is highly recommended that you do place a bandage on it. But these are like super advanced bandages that are round, that just fit well over the blemish and can be worn under makeup too. These come in 2 sizes, small and medium, 10 millimeters, 12 millimeters. I bought like 5 of these. They're great to have around just in case. So this is the one I'm using now. This is one I got on standby. I think I have maybe like 1 or 2 more around somewhere. I will never stop buying these because my picking problem definitely is taking time for me to address and to understand. I know the mechanism when I'm super stressed or I just need something to do. I just start investigating my face, because no matter how you put it, like, you just should not squeeze stuff from your face. It's really bad. And despite how many times I tell myself that, I keep finding myself in front of the bathroom mirror. What I have been doing is, I know I'm going a little off topic, so bear with me, fam. I've been honoring circadian rhythm practice and all that stuff. So when it gets dark, I actually just have my Christmas lights on and I rely on candlelight for the remainder of my day before I go to bed. And in the bathroom, I don't even put the light on. I just put the candlelight on. And if you can't see it, you can't pick it. So at least that eliminates the evening time as a high risk part of the day for me to start investigating. No lights, can't see, go to bed. There's nothing to do here, Alicia. So that has been my evening ritual, if you will, relying on candlelight to taper off the end of my day. But if I do find there's a blemish, I do pick it. Neogen to the rescue. For body moisturizers, I mentioned this in one of my monthly favorite videos. It has to be the Roche-Posay. This stuff is amazing. Many of you had commented under that video to say that this was your holy grail. It just has all the occlusives in one. This is the Intense Repair Moisturizing Cream. They also have a moisturizing lotion, and this is the Soothing Relief Cream. Now, I've been including operating under candlelight at night. I've also been starting my day with cold showers. I've been doing it for a month. It's really tough, especially now since it's winter time. But after I get out, I just slap this stuff on because it's so creamy but absorbs quickly. And man, I'm almost through this tube. I actually have it's done, but I have to cut it open to get the rest out of there because it's like down to the last drop. But these have been my holy grail moisturizers. I think, however, for the winter time, I just like to layer a little bit. So I did present the Copper Faucet's body butter in my last favorites. That is a fantastic formula. It has shea butter, a bunch of oils in it. It takes a little longer to absorb, so that's why I save it for the evening because that's my hot shower time. But this is great to slap on during the day, get that moisture in and just get out. For hair, the Melanin Multi-Use Leave-In Conditioner. This might be my 4th bottle. Maybe my 5th. Some people thought this was not moisturizing enough. What I appreciate about this product is versatility. You could use it as a pre-shampoo treatment, a deep treatment, a after shampoo conditioner, a leave-in, which is what I primarily use it for. I wet my hair every day just to get, to start fresh. Not completely, but I do need the water just to kind of bring the spring back into my curl pattern. And then I go in with the Melanin, which gives me enough definition that it's like acceptable ish. I don't have to rely on gel. I could just rely on the leave-in to give me the moisture, to give me the shine, to give me the detangling properties, which is what I think I adore this most for. I finger comb through my hair because I only wash my hair once a week, but throughout the week, the crown of my head gets really tangled. So I spray some water on it, okay? I put a little bit of the Melanin and just my fingers or even a wide tooth comb. This just melts the tangles away. It does. And for wash day, because I've been applying this every day, the water flows through easily. It's almost like I had a treatment on all week, but my hair didn't feel heavy. It didn't have like that heavy product feel, the heavy product flakiness. You know what I'm talking about. That's why it's hard for me to use anything else because, again, it does well for the duration of the week. It doesn't make my hair feel heavy. In fact, it just nourishes it. So when I do get to the shampoo step, it's almost like I had a pre-treatment on because I put so much of this stuff on throughout the week. But the detangling is what does it for me. Slippity-doo-dah, slippity-day. For sunscreen, I know the UV index is quite low, but if you are somewhere on the globe that you're getting great vitamin D, which we should all be doing right now, okay? But it doesn't mean we have to subject our face to premature aging. So I've been using the Skin Aqua UV Super Moisture Essence Gold. This definitely has been my favorite for the year. I think it does have alcohol in it. I can't confirm. You can check out the ingredient list on YesStyle. The fact that I can put 3 finger lengths worth of this sunscreen on my face and it feels like I'm applying a gel but doesn't leave my skin feeling dry, and it looks beautiful under makeup, and it doesn't smell like sunscreen. Banana boat who? This is a remarkable formula. I don't know how they did it. I also don't know where this ranks on like the sunscreen drama, because there are a bunch of Korean beauty and I think even Japanese beauty sunscreens that did not meet sun protection requirements despite what was labeled on the product. I think this was a good one. I think you actually get the 50 plus PA plus 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 plus. Let me know down below. One of the best sunscreen products I have used, and that's why it's really hard for me to apply these other sunscreens. Like a sunscreen that just has zinc in it is tough for me to use. And I understand there are some who cannot use organic filters. That's what's known as the chemical filters. Everything's a chemical. All the products I presented here, they all have chemicals, okay? I know in sunscreen land, everything is divided into either physical or chemical. I know people cannot withstand the organic filters, the chemical ones, although I don't know if they've tried the newer ones like the Tinosorb SM, the Uvinol A+. Those are formulated to not be as sensitizing as the avobenzone and the homosalate. I forgot what it's called. So let me know what your experience has been. I cannot wear the physical sunscreens, the inorganic filters, because I just don't like how it feels. It feels like not only does the zinc dull my complexion, but just the feel of it, it feels like I have a mask on. I actually have a Skin Aqua UV Super Moisture Essence on standby that I have not opened yet. I would like to see how this feels compared to the gold one. And that is to round out my best of for 2021, the skincare edition. I know it's a little bit all over the place with this, and I had a hard time gathering the products that I used throughout the year, but just based on my memory and my skincare routines for morning and evening, these have been my staple go-tos that I used for the entirety of the year and that I look forward to using. So let me know what your favorites have been for skincare down below, fam. And you know what tomorrow is? Brushes. We will go over the best brushes of 2021. It's going to be so hard. Do this, but I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to give myself boundaries. I'm not going to go crazy. Stay tuned for that. I'll see you back here tomorrow. And until then, fam, that is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And until then, I will see you on here again with another review tutorial. Best of, well, December favorites for sure. Take care, and I will see you again soon.